See, a lot of the business gurus, the productivity gurus, all these guys are telling you that your phone addiction is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. All the while telling you to download all of these apps that'll keep your screen time low, and everyone's obsessed with how much screen time they have. It's all nonsense, right? The reality is we all have an addiction. We all have addictions, but it's how you use those addictions. See, I have a very bad phone addiction, right? I'm on my phone 24/7. I'm on my phone 24/7, but so is the other person that's next to me. When I sit down somewhere, I'm on my phone, that person's on their phone. The difference between the two is one complete mindset shift that you need to have. One person, me, is the producer. The other person who's on their phone, and I know because sometimes I'll be a little nosy and I'll glance a little bit and they're just scrolling on TikTok or they're scrolling on Instagram or whatever, right? They're consumers. See, there's a difference between being a producer with a phone addiction and a consumer with a phone addiction. The phone is one of the greatest inventions that ever happened. The internet is one of the greatest inventions that ever happened because it allowed for people to be able to connect with hyper speed. It allowed for people to create things that people can consume that will be able to help them as well, right? But it also has entertainment, and entertainment has its place. But the minute that you start to consume all of that content, that's where the problem lies. It's not the screen time. It's not how long you're on the phone. It's what you're doing while you're on that phone. It's what you actually accomplish during the times of which you are on the phone. Now, when you're a producer, your screen time means very different. Because when you're a producer, especially on social media, you have a business, right? You're a content creator. You consume content from a critical lens to be able to learn how to create better content. So you're getting better and better at the craft every day, right? So that's another thing. You need to become a content creator if you are consistently on social media. If you don't like social media and you don't want to be on it, again, this video is not for you, right? But if you have a phone addiction, a crippling phone addiction that they like to say, that's a telltale sign that you need to be a creator. You need to start running a business online around the content that you create. Because right now, people are printing millions of dollars creating content that you watch every day, whether it's through a business on the back end, through affiliates, through some form or fashion. People are making money creating content online, consuming content so that they can get better, and then remaking content that they've learned online. This is the new economy. The creator economy is literally booming right now. You can go look it up. The creator economy is literally doubling every year in terms of revenue, in terms of money that's coming into the space. And you can utilize that to your advantage if you become the producer, right? So I'm going to show you how to actually use this phone addiction to your benefit, how I use my phone addiction to my benefit. Because once you start implementing this, there's literally no way that you can lose in life. There's no way that you will not be able to make money online. By the way, if you're interested in building your personal brand on YouTube, because I believe YouTube is where most people consume content, it's where educational content exists. Link is in the description. I have a group coaching community that I help people build and monetize their personal brands on YouTube. YouTube is king right now. So tap in, links in the description. Back to regular scheduled programming, right? So when you start to consume content, you have to consume it from the lens of a producer, right? You have to start seeing the content as, why am I attracted to this content, right? That's step one. Step one when consuming content on social media. You have to start analyzing it from a consumer's perspective as a producer, right? So I'll explain. If I'm scrolling and a video catches my eye, or if I'm on YouTube and a video pops up, I need to understand, what was the big idea of the video? Why did this video catch my eye? What about the title made me want to click? What about the thumbnail? Why did I click on it? Why was I so interested in this video? How did they find a way to be able to because you have to understand, the creator economy runs on attention. Attention is the fuel for the creator economy, right? So if attention is the fuel, people are literally taking your attention and they're converting it into money, whether it's through ads or whether it's through you going to see what they have to offer that could help you in your life. So you have to understand how these people captivated you. So that's step one, right? Consume smart. Start to analyze why you're clicking, why your attention is being drawn to those specific types of content. Step two, understand what they're saying in the content. Because most likely, if the content's educational, you'll learn something from it and you'll be able to utilize it in your own life. So start to figure out how they're delivering the content and what they're talking about. Start to find trends of what kinds of content you're watching consistently. What catches your eye all the time? If it's a bunch of bullshit, if it's a bunch of just content that has nothing to do with education, that has nothing to do with value, you need to start rewiring your brain to start looking at valuable content as assets that you should be looking at. Start to educate yourself to become better. Because the more you consume the rabbit hole of entertainment content is the minute that you literally are flatlined. There's no progress at that point. It's all there to keep you just in the middle, to keep you just steady, right? No growth at all. If anything, a decline. And it's all to kill your dopamine receptors. But when you watch videos like this that actually educate you, you need to start understanding how it's being delivered. So that's on the consumer side. Those are the two steps while you're a consumer, right? Now you cross over to the producer. Now you're producing content. Now you're actually creating long form content that people watch on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you how to do it, right? So the first step to being a producer, you need to figure out what your story is. What is your unique story? How do you stand out from the sea of creators that exist today? What are some unique things that while you were consuming, you didn't see in the market that you were in when it comes to your personal brand? Because all of this is building your personal brand online so that you can make money with your phone addiction, because you can do that, right? Figure out what makes you different. Figure out different things in your story that's unique. Figure out different interests that you have. And then create 3 content pillars that you can endlessly talk about. It could be, I don't like to say mindset, because mindset is basically the foreground of anything. It could be fitness, it could be productivity, it could be looks maxing, I guess. Whatever you can endlessly talk about, right? You put those 3 buckets in. Then you figure out what are the lessons that you've extracted in your life? How did you make a big transformation in your life? And you want to start creating content around the transformation that you made, giving people micro steps to getting better, to reaching their own transformation through your transformation, right? That is how you're going to create value in the marketplace effortlessly. That is why videos that are minimally edited, if not edited at all, do very well. That's why my videos do very well, the ones that weren't edited, because they were giving pure value from my perspective. So people are going to watch. The big ideas were unique enough to where people were interested. Right? So now that you've figured that out, now you want to be able to create titles and thumbnails that catch the attention of people, right? So you have to start figuring out how you can detail the thumbnail. Maybe it's a simple thumbnail. Maybe it's not even a thumbnail at all. It's just a picture of you talking in front of the camera, which works nowadays because YouTube is in its authenticity era, right? So you can do that. The title, figure out what titles are going to catch the person's attention that you want. But before you even do that, you have to figure out who is the person that I want to speak to. What are their desires? What are their pains? What are their experiences in life? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? You have to dive deep into the psyche of this one avatar of a person. And you have to be speaking to that person's desires and that person's fears every video that you make. This is what's going to attract an audience to you. Now, when you start attracting that audience, you'll refine your messaging a bit better. And then you'll give them something that will give them value. Maybe it's a lead magnet, something that's free that they can consume, that they can start to be in your back end ecosystem, right? That is how you do it. Or you can offer them coaching. I always say that. Coach people on things that you've done before, transformations that you've made, and those people will want to make the same transformations that you made and will be willing to do the steps that you did. And you just iterate those steps based on their specific situation. Coaching is endlessly valuable. That's why a lot of value creators right now are coaching, right? For a reason. Now, once you've done that part, once you've figured out the offer, that's the biggest transformation that you can help someone else make. Now you're promoting it by creating content. Now you're consuming content, right? Just so that you can get more inspiration, so you can get more ideas, so you can get a pulse on the internet on what people are looking at the most in your space. Now you have the offer. Now you make money, right? The minute that you have that whole ecosystem in place, your social media addiction, your phone addiction becomes an endless asset that will produce you infinite amounts of money. It's that simple. And the reality is not many people are doing it today. Not many at all. People are not creating the type of content that is actually hitting the masses the way that it needs to. Everyone is consuming. I would say over 95% of the population are just consuming content, and maybe less than 5% of the population are producing the content that the rest of the 95 are. So we're still early. You're not late. You're not behind. You're right on time, but you need to have a game plan. You need to figure out how you're going to turn this phone addiction that you have into money, into a business on the back end. This is what I did. This is what all the creators that you watch have done. This is what they're going to continue to do. They're going to continue to print money until all of you catch on and you start doing the same thing. Then there's going to be a new meta, right? Most effective tactic available. There's going to be a new meta if you play video games, a new cheat code. But right now, the cheat code is content creation, authentic content creation, and value-based content creation. Because not many people know a lot. But if you've had experiences in life, even if you work a 9-to-5 job, you have experiences with that job. You have experiences with relationships. You have experience with something in life, physical experience when it comes to fitness. You have something that can better people. Health, wealth, relationships. Those are the 3 things. If you can tap into one of those things, people will buy from you. People will give you their attention. Every time someone gives you their attention, that is currency that you're achieving passively. Your videos go on forever on YouTube. The algorithm is fresh. It's not Instagram. It's not TikTok, where they're changing the algorithm all the time. It's very fresh. Take advantage of it now. Use your phone addiction to your advantage. Be more productive when you're on your phone. And a bonus tip, network with high-level people. As you're creating content online, your status starts to elevate because you're providing value and you're showing competency. This is when you're going to start finding people who are interested in working with you. And when you find people who are interested in working with you and wanting to know who you are, you're building a high-level network. And the man who has the greatest, most valuable network wins in this life. You cannot move through this life alone as a lone wolf. You need people around you who are also very valuable. So you need to be able to create that experience for people to be able to want to work with you. And when you reach out to other people, they have a catalog of videos where they can build trust with you and understand your mindset and see if it's worth connecting with you. So you build your network, you make money, you make impact, all because of a phone addiction. You're absolutely welcome. All right? So I appreciate all of you. Again, links in the description if you want to turn your phone addiction into an actual money-making machine, into something that will impact the world, into a beacon for bigger and better networks in your life of people who are actually valuable, that will provide value in your life. Again, click on that link. I appreciate y'all, all right? So share this with a friend who needs it, who has a crippling phone addiction that they're trying to get rid of, that they don't understand why it's hurting them so much. This video will change their entire mindset. I hope this video changed yours. Again, I appreciate you. Conquer the world, conquer your life, conquer yourself, conquer your phone, conquer the internet. Why not, right? Conquer the internet with a group of guys that I have, and I'll catch you on the next video.